Hi everyone! So excited to be with you guys today. Today is the first day of the Baha'i fast, and for several years now I've been thinking about coming on Facebook to do live sessions, live meditation sessions with everyone, because I think it would be really helpful to do these together. Not only me doing them, but also you doing them, and then the entire global world meditating together is a very powerful experience. So this morning when I woke up, I did not know that I was going to do this, but it was like, yes, go do it! So we're doing it. So I'm super excited to be here. This is actually several years that I've tried to sit down, but because during the fast, I don't have much energy, so I haven't been able to be of service, but I have just finished my morning prayers and I'm still feeling very energized. So I'm happy to be here. And what I thought we would do, I'm not sure if every day is going to be as energized as I feel today, because, the first days usually we're super excited and then, we all slowly crash down. But what I wanted to say was that what I really wanted to do for these 19 days is, as we know, the Baha'i calendar has 19 months in a year, and each month has 19 days. So for the full 19 days of the Baha'i fast, and this is the last month of the year before we celebrate the new year, which is where we cleanse ourselves from all physical defilements to basically cleanse our body and our souls to not eat from sunrise to sunset. So this is super exciting, and what I really wanted to do was, when I was thinking today, I'm like, okay, what kind of a meditation should we do, and what can we focus on? The idea came to me that every day we could do about a 10 to 15 minute meditation and really focus on the qualities of the day and the month. So, for example, today we're in the month of ʻAlá'علاء. ʻAlá'علاء is loftiness, and in each Baha'i day there's a name to it, and today is the first day of the month of ʻAlá'عlaء, which is Bahá, Splendor. And in each week there is also another quality, and today is Kamál, which is perfection. So we have loftiness, splendor, and perfection. And I thought for the meditation, what we could do is to really focus on these three spiritual qualities, ʻAlá'علاء, Kamál, and Splendor, as we focus on it. And every day these qualities change. So it's not only are we going to focus on the individual spiritual qualities of each one of these. The reason why these are named is actually for a quality of God. So in each day, in each month, and each day, and each weekday, there's also a quality to it. So what I thought would be wonderful is that if we focus on these three, and the combination of these spiritual qualities will also significantly change from day to day. So every day we're going to kind of focus on different spiritual qualities of God. And I think we're going to, hopefully, we'll see what happens during these meditations. As I don't have anything prepared, I'm going to kind of do this by intuition. And since I just finished my prayer and cleansed myself to be able to be of service to you guys, I thought that we would, before beginning the first day, I would go over the definitions of what loftiness and splendor mean, because I had to look them up myself. So loftiness is the condition of being high or lofty. And it's the second definition that I thought was really interesting. It was impressive in scale and proportion. So the second quality is splendor. Splendor is the name of the day. So today's the first day. This is the unique virtue of the day, Bahá, Splendor. And it's the quality that outshines the usual. And it's the quality of being magnificent or splendid or grand. So basically this entire day, the first day of the fast, it's all about just outshining everything and just being higher and just taking ourselves up to a plane that we've probably never been before. And so, and for the weekday, we have perfection. So basically it's like, it's all the highest qualities that we're going to be contemplating on and focusing on today. So today's meditation is a little bit long because I introduced what we're going to do, hopefully for the next 19 days, but also like the beginning qualities, like what we're going to focus on. So whether or not you've actually listened to any of the Bicentenary Meditation Project meditations already on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, or anything like that, you're welcome to begin from the start with this Baha'i fast that we're going to do on the Bicentenary Meditation Project. So this is about the third year that I've done something like this. The first year in 2018, I did 19 podcasts, which I always make available every year during the Baha'i fast on my website at www.yogaavecmoi.com. And I will hopefully link that in the comments below so that you can see where it is. So you can listen to the podcast of 2018. And if you come on and join the newsletter, I also have 19 days of newsletter so that you'll get an email each day and a link also to the podcast. So basically there's the podcast, there's the newsletter, and now this year, 2020, I don't think I did anything because I was focusing on the Bicentenary Meditation Project. But this year, 2021, we are doing hopefully Facebook Lives for the full 19 days, but we'll see how it goes. So now that we've finished all that, we're going to basically just get into it. And before we begin a meditation, I usually say a prayer before I'm guiding anyone in a class. So you're welcome to sit in a comfortable posture. You can sit, I'm currently sitting on the bed, but usually I like to sit on the ground, a harder surface. And, or you can sit on a chair. The chair is probably going to be the most comfortable for you if you're a beginner's meditator. But really the point in meditation is not to look cool, but to be comfortable so that your attention is not on your body, but on what you're meditating on. So that's going to be the thing that we're really going to focus on primarily. So let's sit in a comfortable position. And what is the most important thing to consider during a meditation is the alignment of your spine. Anything else is secondary. So you can be lying down flat on your back, spine is straight, no problem. Or sitting up. So the spine is fine. The legs, the lower half of the body doesn't really matter. And it's really the lower half of the body that gives us problem with like pins and needles in the legs. So you can sit comfortably, hands on your knees, and just palms facing upward or facing down, both is fine. And just begin to close your eyes. And slowly, slowly... Oh, goodness. Oh, I think we're back. Okay. I'm not sure when it got canceled, but we'll start over. But just focus on your inhales and on your exhales. And bring your attention inwards to your body. Really getting into your body as much as possible. And a lot of spiritual practices, this might sound counterintuitive to go into your body because we're focusing on the physical, the material part of the body. But actually becoming connected with our body is a doorway to get connected with our soul. Because our body and our soul and our spirit is so intimately connected with one another that when we bring our attention to our body, something that's very tangible, and that we can visualize and see and touch and feel, taste, then we can, it's easier. It's like one step to feeling those qualities of the soul. The breath is another gateway. So hopefully your attention has remained on the breath as I was speaking. And see if you notice the pause in between your inhale and your exhale, and your exhales and your inhales. So two very different types of pauses. Not trying to lengthen the pause in any way by holding our breath, but just notice, which one? Is it the inhale? Is it the pause between the inhale and exhale that's longer, or the pause between our exhale and inhale? And so the first quality that we're going to be bringing to our mind is the quality of Bahá, splendor. So we talked about splendor is a quality that outshines the usual. The quality of being magnificent or splendid or grand. And with your eyes closed, you can focus your attention on your solar plexus. So it's like kind of like your stomach area right below your chest in front of your rib cage. Like you can just take a look at me or open your eyes for a second. Awesome, so great to see you here. And so just focus the quality of splendor and Bahá in the center of your stomach. And notice a sun. Visualize a bright yellow sun in the center of your stomach. And just visualize what the quality of magnificence or grandness or the quality of outshining looks like. What does the quality of outshining looks like on a physical level? And then what does it look like on an energetic level? How does it vibrate? And then notice how the quality of magnificence, splendor, outshining mentally and emotionally feels like. What does it feel like to have magnificence or outshining? And it's interesting in this time, we can think about, does that mean it's the ego? Does outshining necessarily mean better than someone or something? Can one just shine on its own? And then if you were to look at splendor, if you were to witness it, like look at it, what would it look like? Like picture it in front of you. What would it look like? What would you see? What would you notice? What would you realize about it? Finally, we're going to see how the quality of Baha, Splendor, actually works. How does it work in, let's say, a profession? What would it look like in work, in a practice? So our attention throughout this whole time was on our stomach, visualizing the sun and the heat, and also those qualities in the solar plexus area. And now what we can do is we're going to focus on the quality of loftiness. And we're going to move that, since the definition of loftiness is the condition of being high or lofty, or impressiveness in scale or proportion. So here I would like you to focus on the crown of your head. So bring your attention here, and anything I say, focus it here. Focus the attention here on the head. So this is usually in meditation, we have a point of focus, just so we don't allow the mind to wander off to different places. So we kind of anchor it. So this crown area is going to be where you're going to anchor your attention on loftiness. So we're going to begin with physically, on a physical, gross level. What does loftiness look like, feel like, taste like, smell like, hear like? What does it sound like? And then notice on an energetic level, loftiness. What does that look like? What is it? How would you imagine loftiness? Allah. On an energetic level. Would it have a high vibration? Would it have a low vibration? Would it feel strong, or would it feel light? Just using words as contrast to help maybe get an answer. There is no right answer for any of this. It's just for us to be able to contextualize and really more concretely notice what these qualities would look like. So now moving on to loftiness. What does that mean mentally and emotionally? What does a lofty mentality or emotional characteristic quality be like? Now, imagine if loftiness were outside of you and you were looking at it from a perspective of the witness, of just noticing, recognizing, being aware. What would you notice with zero emotions attached to it? So not bringing stories from the past, not bringing memories from the past, but if you were to look at loftiness, what would you see? And if you're not seeing some things for some of the qualities as I'm guiding you through it, don't worry about it at all. This is just a training of visualization of the mind, and it's just using different techniques for us to kind of shuffle through the different qualities to just see if I were to say the word physical, what would it look like physically, loftiness? Would it increase your understanding in one way? And if it doesn't, that's totally fine. Moving on to the next, it would be energy. So if energy helped you understand loftiness a little bit better, then great. But what I want you to not do in this meditation is to judge yourself. If I'm sharing something and there's no image or there's no thought that comes to mind or no realization, is to think that you're not doing this right. Just by focusing on my words and closing your eyes, you're building concentration and focus on a spiritual quality. So there's definitely going to be some good in that, like it's not possible for you not to gain benefits. So don't use measurements that we normally use to see how you're progressing. So now we're going to move on to the last, which is, if loftiness were to be in a workspace, what would it look like? How would you demonstrate it in a spirit of joy? Now we're going to move on to the quality of the day, weekday, which is Kamál, perfection. And just to go over the 5 frameworks that I'm using, it's the physical body, the energy, the mental and emotional, and witness, and bliss. These are 5 integrative yoga therapy frameworks of health, layers of health within the body. And so by visualizing this on each level, as you already noticed, I did 10 rounds basically for the 2 qualities of loftiness and splendor. Now we're doing this the 3rd time. So even if you didn't know what I was doing before, now you'll have some sort of context of where I'm going with these so that you can anticipate it and just sit in the meditation focused. So going through the 5 layers with the quality of perfection, Kamál, which is today, Monday, the day of the first day of the fast. And so we focused on Bahá, Splendor, we focused on Loftiness, ʻAlá'علاء, and now we're going to focus on the quality of perfection and what that looks like on a physical level. And I would really, really, really challenge you for the physical level. We can mostly think of qualities like beauty, like things that we see in the media, like different different forms of beauty that might be more close to seduction than it would be to attraction. And I would really like for us to kind of move from the seduction to the attraction. What does perfection mean on a physical level if we were to look at it through the lens of beauty also? So I wanted to kind of couch that a little bit so that we don't go wild, you know. So within the quality of perfection, if you were to think about it on a physical level without thinking of just the body, it could be objects as well. Like, what does perfection look like in an object? This is actually a quote by the Bahá, where he shares that anything that has not reached everything that reaches its highest point is perfection, and everything must reach its highest point, so that everything in the world, whether that be nature, whether that be you're making a physical object, or the quality of a soul, is that we should always be reaching for perfection. So perfection is really something that I would love to hear your reflections on this in the comments below, if you have any. That how we can look at perfection in a healthier way than what is usually defined in society. So on a physical level, what does that mean? And so what does perfection mean on an energetic level? What does perfection mean? So one idea that comes to mind with perfection and energy is that things that are coherent and that they have a wave and a flow and a balance to it, this is usually something that feels the best. Whether that's your thought and your heart being connected, or that means like waves in an ocean. It's beautiful, like patterns, like the same pattern over and over again. So what does perfection look like on an energy level? So I'm trying not to put words in your thoughts in your mind and to allow space for you to discover it, but also sometimes maybe having these sort of analogies might assist you. So I'm hoping that it's an assistance and don't stop thinking once I've given one analogy. Continue thinking of other examples of what perfection would look like on an energetic level. And then think about what perfection, the spiritual quality of perfection would look like in the mental and emotional forms. What would emotion, perfect emotion, or perfect mentality like in the workspace? In like a joyful state. Work performed in the spirit of service is worship. So in terms of perfection, what would perfection, the spiritual quality of perfection, look like in a workspace? And throughout this whole time, I'm hoping that your focus is still on the crown of your head, and you can be thinking here about all the qualities, and hopefully things will pop up here for you. And if it doesn't, totally fine. As long as your attention is just on one place that can be anchored, you're good to go. separation, and let go of wanting oneness. And so the reason why we say let go of wanting oneness is because we are one. We're letting go of the want rather than the actual thing. So it's wanting oneness with me or with other people who are doing this, or just with the meditation, that is a block. Actually, the wanting it is a block. Not the thing itself is not a block, but wanting it is a block. You can focus on your nose or focus in between your nose. Just the temperature, as you can feel the air come out. Anywhere that helps, in your nostrils, up on top of your nose, all is okay. And just settle in for a bit. Hi guys, sorry, because my eyes are closed. I can't really see when it gets disconnected. Hopefully all is well. But just keep your focus on your tip of your nose, the bridge of your nose, or on the top of your nose. Just focus on one point. And I was mentioning, I think when I noticed it got cut out, is you can put like a dot on the wall and just look at one dot, because that will help just concentrate all your focus on like one place. And so focusing on your nose, something on your body is also always with you, so that if you were to go anywhere in the middle of a park or something, you wanted to meditate, focus on a point, you always have your body to go back to, and you always have your breath. So that's never going to change. So going back to the breath is always like a wonderful anchor to have, to really settle and ground you. And as we're finishing our practice, just be in this quietude. Not wondering where we're going to go, what we're going to do next. Just allowing our mind and our attention and our awareness to be in one space. And whenever you're ready, you can bring your palms together and just rub them together fast and generate some heat. Cover your eyes and then blink. Open your eyes in the palm of your hands to just adjust to the light if you were closing your eyes throughout this time, and then slowly allow your palms to come down. So that was the first practice. I was actually initially intending it to just be 10 to 15 minutes, but I think I can't really see the time right now, but I think it was like half an hour. So that was a bit long. Hopefully, maybe focusing on 3 spiritual qualities is a lot. Because there are 2, with the Baha'i calendar, there are 2 that are usually changing. It's the day of the month that changes every day, and it's the weekday that changes every day. Loftiness is going to be the thread. So for the first day, this sort of meditation would actually be helpful for you for the next 19 days. Because this is something that I think is a good idea, but if other people are not really receptive to it, then, and there's no need really to do it, then I will just focus on my own meditation during the Baha'i fast. But if you do find this helpful, then please do let me know, because anytime somebody thinks something and doesn't tell me, it means that I don't know about it. So if you want me to Loftiness is the month, the day is Bahá, Splendor, and the weekday is being a Monday